You're probably so over people telling you that ATAR is just a number. Heck, I'm so over people repeating the same old shiz. So that's not what we're going to be talking about today. But regardless of whether you're thrilled about your results, entirely disappointed, or experiencing an amalgamation of other emotions, now that you've got your ATAR, now what? What a lot of people don't realize is that, yeah, ATAR is not just a number, but this is actually a pivotal moment where you can have the opportunity to engage in some pretty freaking awesome life lessons that you can take with you into your future as a young adult. So let's talk about them today. Hey, if you're new here, I'm Lisa, and on this channel, while we normally talk about ATAR studies, we know that life is more than just studies. So I share my experiences with you as a 20-something-year-old, talking about careers, entrepreneurship, and basically adulting 101s like finance, getting your first job, so that we can all live a happier, healthier life. If you like these topics, then consider subscribing. ATAR Life Lesson 1. Mindful mindset. Think about the internal monologue that you've got going on in your head. What do you say to yourself when you look at your results? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it a mixture of both even? Like, are you punishing yourself because you didn't get 0.05 more in order to get that 90 and instead you got an 89.95, which yes, I know is annoying, which is totally fair enough, but are you beating yourself over it way too much? As another point of reflection, did you doubt yourself when you were going through your ATAR? For me, especially even in my career, what I've realized is I just build my own rat race. So a rat race is essentially when you are able to achieve a goal, but then you're just looking at the next goal and you achieve that goal, but already when you're achieving that goal, you're already looking at the next one. So you're never actually really content with what you've actually done. And so this is something that I'm still trying to figure out myself and still trying to work on. And that's just being kinder to myself, patting myself on the back and going, you know what? If you look back a year ago, you would have never even possibly imagined that this could have been possible. And that's exactly what happened on my ATAR day. I was disappointed with my ATAR, even though I got 97.25 because I wanted a 98. But if I looked back at when I was going into year 11, I was thinking to myself, heck, if I could get a 90 ATAR, I will be thrilled. I will be so badass. I will be awesome if I get a 98er. Like, what an awesome goal to have. What an awesome achievement to have. But somehow over those following 2 years, I kind of just built that rat race and it just kept building up and up. So I kind of feel like I took that enjoyment from myself when I got my ATAR that day. So I'm sharing with you this story just in hopes that if this is you, it's something to really think about and consider. If this is you, catch your internal monologue and what it's saying. Be mindful and be compassionate. Treat yourself like a friend would and try not to beat yourself up over it. Insight into your weaknesses and strengths. We spoke earlier about how I built my own rat race and was therefore pretty hard on myself, but they often say your biggest weaknesses can also be your biggest strengths. As I always say, your ATAR and the past 2 years have probably been 2 of the biggest years of your life. There is so much growth and development that happens during this time, and it's your transition into adulthood, into independence. So a really great way to look at your ATAR, rather than just as a number, is to reflect back over the past couple of years and think about your strengths and weaknesses. What did you learn about yourself? I realized that I am very self-driven, very self-motivated and diligent in my work, and I don't really need external pressure. So I didn't really need my parents to put pressure on me in order for me to focus and try to work hard and achieve the goals that I wanted to. That was all on me, and that's something that I'm pretty proud of and something that I've actually taken with me all into my 20s and into my career. Knowing your strengths and weaknesses will also help you when you go into university interviews, job interviews, because they typically ask you what your biggest strengths and weaknesses are. So think about what your potential strengths and weaknesses are. What did you learn about your personality? These parts of yourself that you start to realize will actually continue to evolve over time. And taking that moment to reflect and put a note in time of, okay, this is what I was like when I was 16, when I was 17, when I was 18, will allow you space when you're in the future, 21, 22, 23, to look back and see just how far you've come. ATAR life lesson number 3. No one is a seer. You might have gotten into your course, which congratulations, or you might not have. And yeah, it's sucky, but one thing I know for sure is that for majority of people, no one knows what they're going to be doing in 5 years. And even when it comes to more traditional jobs, like even say becoming a doctor, you might think, yep, I got into my course and yep, in 5 years, I'll be at this point in my course, getting ready to work in hospitals and whatnot. I don't actually really know the entire journey, but let's just stick with it. But we know that more and more people actually changing their jobs more often. You know, there's always statistics flying around about how we're going to have at least 5 different careers and 17 different employers. And it's highly likely even that you might be even employing yourself, because it's an entrepreneurial world. Everybody is doing YouTube, everyone's doing their own gram, starting their own Shopify. Going back to the more traditional roles, even someone like Ali Abdul, who's on YouTube, he's a doctor in that traditional field, and yet he's taken a break from doing medicine and doing YouTube full time. I can speak from experience because when I got my ATAR, I had gotten the results to get into my pharmacy course at Monash University. But I entered pharmacy because I just didn't really know what else to do. It was a process of elimination. And even though I did do the 5 years of studying pharmacy, I quit pharmacy, and I've talked about this story on my channel before, so I'll link the story for ya. But my pathway steered in a completely opposite direction, where I decided to pursue tutoring full time. And even then I thought that that would be my career from here on, but really I turned it into a business. I have a private tutoring agency. I publish study guides that are being used in schools across Australia. I have a YouTube channel, and now I'm also sharing my life experiences on building a passive income, purchasing 2 properties in my 20s, and other life advice that, you know, I couldn't have possibly said to my 18-year-old self, this is what you're going to be doing in a few years. And I think it'll be a very interesting period of time for you too. This message is particularly for you if you feel really uncertain about the pathway ahead. Embrace it. Uncertainty isn't always fun, but it can be fun if you allow yourself to be in the moment and just allow yourself to figure out what it is that you do want to do, or the course that you do want to pursue. That is the journey in itself, and it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. ATAR life lesson 4, time doesn't stop. So now that you've got your ATAR, where to next? Think about the things that you said to yourself you would do after your ATAR was done. You may have said to yourself, I'm going to start catching up with those old friends that I haven't seen in like 10 years. I'm going to finally start picking up some books and start developing a love for reading again, because I don't have to read English books for school. You may have told yourself that you're going to get on the FitFam train and start working out. And this is the reality of things, that life continues on. But what's important to keep a note of is whether or not you're doing the things that you promised yourself. So I'm going to link you to a video here which talks more about your reality after high school and whether or not you're actually going to start living the life that you've promised for yourself after high school. A massive congratulations to you today for finishing your ATAR. You are bloody awesome, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.